What's up, y'all? As you can see, this video is going to be about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode 7. And it pretty much kicks off with K Michelle and Mimi. Child, they meet for, they're meeting in the studio and they're talking about Mimi's situation with Stevie J and Jocelyn and the baby and whatnot. And K Michelle, plays the song, what's the name of the damn song? I forgot the name of the damn song. Kiss My Ass for her. Basically for, her situation with Stevie J and all the bullshit he's putting her through and all that good stuff. And then it jumps to Carly and her manager meeting and he's telling her, you need to focus on your career and whatnot. And Benzino comes up, of course, in the conversation. And he's telling her, Benzino, he's not hot anymore. What can he really do for your situation? And she's like, well, we're together, we're dating, whatever she said. And it's just, to me, I think Carly Red is the type of female that she builds relationships on whether or not you can help her get to the next level or not. If you can't bring anything to the table to help her, then she's not interested in being with you or even having a conversation with you. That's what I get from her, but I could be wrong. But that's how she seems to be portrayed on the show so far. After that, we have Jocelyn in the studio with Stevie, and they talk about their normal nonsense, gibberish. And he's like, "You need to stop having sex." Child, y'all should have been stopped having sex. Y'all should have never started to have sex. But with that being said, honey, she's pregnant. He's supposed to be working things out with Mimi, see how that goes, but I don't think they'll start fucking anytime soon. The show really need to have a scandal, and that's the scandal for the show. Their love affair. Then we have a commercial, and after the commercial, we have Kirk and Rashida, and I'm a big Rashida fan, and they're talking about basically, excuse me, basically what they're going to do with as far as their personal life and their business life, and him being the management and bringing in outside management. And the bottom line is, she basically suggests that maybe they should give it a try with outside management coming in and helping out, and that could possibly better their business life and their personal life because they are married. She has a child, and he has a bunch of kids, apparently. A bunch of young ones. So I wish them all the best. I love Rashida and I love her music. After that, what goes on? Let me see here. Carly Red and Benzino. I guess they had a date or whatnot the previous night, and she stayed over for breakfast or whatnot because they're in bed and they're talking, and she tells him basically what her manager said about him not being hot anymore. And he's like, wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute, you're not too hot yourself, right? So I was like, yes, get that bitch together. But she seems so messy to me. Like, you didn't even have to tell him who said what was said. You could have kept that to yourself, but you wanted to spill the beans for whatever reason, so you're just a troublemaker. You could have been star show for like the first couple of episodes, but whatever. K Michelle performed "Bury My Heart" at ACO Live. Mimi was there to support her, and Stevie J popped up. Now Stevie J, to me, is the kind of dude that when he pisses off his lady, he's used to doing silly shit to put a smile on her face, and she forgives him. Well, Mimi's at the point where, this is my opinion looking in their situation, she's at the point where that shit's not working anymore. She wants to make him suffer so he can feel part of what she's been feeling these past couple of years with him cheating and stepping out and lying and doing all the shit that he's been doing, especially with getting Jocelyn pregnant. So you're not going to just, hey, everything's cool right again. No, it's going to take some time for that to, for her to heal after all that shit. But He performed the song, and she wasn't really feeling it. She didn't really want him to be there, I guess, but I don't know why he even did that. But it was kind of off to me, but whatever. This whole episode was really boring to me. It was like nothing really was going on. I was like, what's going on? Like, it's nothing exciting at all, child. But I digress. After that, they talked for a little while, and she asked him what made him stray in the first place. He didn't really give a fucking straight answer, which Stevie J really never does. He likes to beat around the fucking rose bush for whatever reason. But they're talking. She starts crying. Why are you wasting tears over this no good ass man? I don't understand, Mimi. Anywho, um, yeah, they're talking and whatnot, and she tells him that, basically while you're out doing what you're doing, while you're having a good time, while you're in the studio, while you're working, while you're partying with these girls and whatnot, cheating and living it up, I'm at home with our daughter, and I'm hurting. I'm hurting. She's hurting, Stevie. Mimi is hurting. And I feel her, because if you're in love with somebody and they're out cheating on you and you want them to be home with you and your daughter, your child, and being a family, that really does hurt a person. So I definitely feel Mimi on that. But honey, you put up with a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Jump to Scrappy and Shay. There wasn't really too much in this episode, but basically they was talking about, Scrappy and Erica and child support situation. And Shay, he said he wants to get the lawyer involved and whatnot. And she basically told him, don't do that. That's just going to make it so much more complicated, so much more messier. So I do agree with Shay on that part. And Shay does seem pretty cool. Like, she's not, the messy type. So I like Shay. I like Shay. But let me see what that was pretty much them for this episode. Scrappy and Shay and Erica, they wasn't really in this episode. K Michelle went on a date with this guy. She said his name. I didn't quite catch it, but it was like, was she into him or was she not into him? And then why was she jumping down his throat? Like, she was like, "You're okay." He was like, "You're okay," but then they're swapping spit and things of that nature. And then she's like, she said something like she was like the guy, whatever she said about the guy. But she meets her ex, and they're talking about, why she keeps meeting guys that don't seem to be what she needs and what she wants, and something's good for her. And she basically says that, I think I skipped something. I did skip something, but I'll get back to that. But she basically says that she always goes after the same guy, the guy with the gold teeth, basically the thug hood dude. And at this point in her age, she doesn't need, at this point in her life, that she doesn't need to be chasing those kind of dudes. And that is completely correct, honey. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my voice, y'all, but I must be losing my goddamn voice. So I'm over it. But I agree with K Michelle. I'm glad she recognizes her fault in that department, because if you're chasing the same thing over and over, then that's why your situation never works out, because you're leaving one problem with the next problem, repeating the same mistake over and over. So stop doing that. Find you a good man that ain't some old hood dude that's just gonna play you. And you're right. You're looking for qualities in the wrong place. You're looking for one thing, but you're looking in to the wrong place. You can't want a nice dude who's gonna respect you and be 100 with you, but you're chasing these no good ass niggas. Let's just call them that. What did I skip? I skipped Carly Red and Benzino meeting Vince, Tamar's husband and Lady Gaga's manager. He was like, let me get you in the studio with my producers and whatnot. Basically, I guess he's gonna give her a try. How old is Carly Red? Like, I've never heard of her before. I never heard any of her music. I don't know anything about her. I never saw her in a publication or magazine or on the blog. Who the fuck is she? Anywho, but more power to her. Child, whatever. And then last but not least, therapy. Stevie J and Mimi go to therapy and they meet with this therapist and this guy, child, I'm gonna get to that, child. I'm gonna get to that. And she starts off saying her biggest problem is that Stevie is a liar. Bitch, you better know he been lying. Bitch, you better know that. Why is that even a problem? You've been putting up with that problem for how long now? I ain't even trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that, girl. He says he's not in love with her, but he wants to be back in love with her. I guess he's willing to work and move past these problems with the cheating and Jocelyn and the baby and the being out all the time away from home. That's what he's kind of telling her, that he wants to work past all that by saying that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. He knocked up Jocelyn, but why? Why did the little therapist guy gonna say you hitting on the regular? I don't know. You ain't supposed to say that. You ain't supposed to say that at all. You ain't right for that, old man. You ain't right for that. But basically, the point that the therapist made is that a man cheats only if a woman lets him cheat, and that is completely true. If you let your man cheat, he's going to continue to cheat. And I think the thing with Stevie J and Mimi is he's been doing it for so long now that she's been putting up with it, and he sees that. So it's like, okay, I can cheat, but I'm gonna go back to Mimi. She gonna be mad for a little while, but she gonna get over that shit. And I think he been doing that over and over and over, and she's at the point where she's fed up, and ain't gonna work with it no more. So more power to them two fools and Jocelyn. Ready to see this next episode when they all three in therapy together. That's gonna give me so much life. I know it is. I also want to see Rashida meet up with Walker's mother, and I want to see that whole meeting with Kirk being there and whatnot. So that's pretty much it. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, episode 7. That's my wrap up. Catch it on VH1 Mondays at 8 o'clock. That's I'm on the East Coast. That's Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on Twitter at Notorious Barb, Instagram Notorious Barb. Thumbs up the video. I would really appreciate that. Comment, subscribe, leave your feedback what you thought about the episode. And I might do another video tonight. I might tweet it tomorrow. But in the meantime, stay fabulous, and I'm out.